Okay, welcome allies and fellow aspiring agents of the compassionate trickster at this time of dire beauty. And why should we want this part of us to come alive now, we query. And we have dragons. Dragons have something to say. They say, what do they say? They say, oh, remember Ursula Guin's great quote, those who do not listen to dragons are doomed to live out the nightmare of politicians, right? Yes, that's what they say. So, right, what is Trickster and what is it within us and without us? So let's think of this, of Trickster as nature's evolutionary experimental ingenuity that has no quality of success or fail. Just try this, try this, try this. Other parts of us do. And so let's think also of our own creation myth, that long before there were humans, there was Trickster. And Trickster sets the whole shebang of creation going with a sizzling bolt of lightning. And then it sizzles through time, through plants that adopt, it's through plants that sprout up after cataclysm, it's Coyote's ingenious wiliness of escape artist. But a quality for us, too, is it escapes in order to set everything and everyone free. So wonderful, hidden cameras have captured coyotes following along behind trappers, and setting traps. And then they dig up the traps. They spring the trap because they're so clever, which helps everybody. And then they pee all over it just for attitudinal flourish. And we go, yes, let's put that in our magic backpack and carry on. So again, we see it in ourselves, we see it in animals, we see it in plants. It's, again, this ingenious, loves against all odds, try this, try this, try this. Nature does not say, will humans think I'm odd if I put big ears on this mammal? It's like, no, let's just try it and see if the little critter lasts for 2 million years. Let's try this thing. So we say this spark, of evolving ingenuity, again, moves through everything. And every now and then it is imprisoned or inquisitioned by orthodoxy. Ortho means straight, like orthodentistry is straight teeth. Orthodox is straight teaching. And we go, Trickster likes our teaching curvy, thank you very much. So it's ingenious at escaping, but even cooler, it's interested in liberating the imprisoner or the tyrant. And this is an essential quality about the quality of heroism we want now, and where do we see it? So the Trickster Redeemer, like Scheherazade, the wonderful storyteller woman in the Arabian Nights, she's interested in liberating women, liberating the land, liberating men, liberating even the tyrant himself. And we see this also in the South in the wonderful tales of High John the Conqueror, who's interested in liberating the slaves, but even liberating the slave master, to liberate the entire circumstance, not counting on it, but willing. Somebody years ago gave me a wonderful monograph. Her name is lost in the mists of time, but I thank her every time I mention it, on the woman's traditional role as trickster. We don't hear that much. Like much that's been hidden, it's time for it to come alive in all of us, regardless of our extremely temporary age, race, and gender assignment. So what that essay said is, the woman trickster was an invaluable part of the community. Different from the shaman, right? Because the trickster can tease the shaman, and shamans can sometimes be shaman shadow, a little bit addicted to having an enemy. Trickster is very interested in no enemy, no enemy. Magic is a willingness to cooperate with everything, not put up with stuff, but we don't, like in Aikido, we don't block, we guide this way, over here, this way. So the woman trickster in the community has said that she would mock the community because she loves it and wants to hold it to its standards. And then she would defy the authorities with wit and elan to demonstrate to others that she'd done it and survived. Come on, we can do this thing. Where we see it in myth, where we see it in nature. There's a wonderful story of a chimp captured by National Geographic on film on animals at play. We love animals playing. And there's a chimp who's the lowest, eats last, most dissed in the whole tribe, community of chimps, until one day he finds a garbage can lid and a stick, and he begins banging it, dum, 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 uphill and downhill, dum, 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 dum. And the other chimps look at him in amazement, like, whoa, and they make him the leader. We go, right, that's wonderful. It's the wolf model of leadership, which, as friends of mine have explained, wolves don't operate on dominance, they operate on charisma. And in wolf culture, charisma is who initiates play best. That's their top leadership criterion. I mean, it's also let's go hunting, but let's play. So we love that, you know. So there's the chimp, there's High John, there's Scheherazade, there's Raven, there's Coyote. Inanna, the Inanna myth, you know, is the Venus orbital cycle, and we, you know, many people know about Inanna going down into the underworld. But when she gets back is when she becomes a trickster. We have different chapters of our life where different qualities are called upon, and now is one of those times where our trickster, our compassionate ingenuity, our willingness to not be snookered into polarity is really crucial. And for all aspiring change leaders out there, all of us who want to cultivate, animate, and then contribute our unique medicine to the community at this time of dire beauty, this is really crucial, and the Inanna myth guides us as how to do that. When Inanna gets back from the underworld, the poetry from 3,500 years ago is very, very trippy and racy. It says she's exhausted from her ordeal, and then she's, one day, says the poetry 3,500 years ago, she's lying around, and it says, one day she's contemplating the wonders of her own vulva, going, it is so fabulous to be a woman. And the idea lightnings and sparks her. And she goes, I know, for my overland adventure, I'm going to rescue human culture. And human culture has been stolen, kidnapped by Enki, who is the god of wisdom, but who has become a tyrant. Now, it's very sophisticated of the Sumerians underneath Iraq 3,500 years ago to say anyone, anything unchallenged will become a tyrant. So part of the trickster dynamic is to challenge, but in a non-polarizing, liberating to everybody way. So Enki has stolen human culture and left empty celebrity baubles in its place, toxic mimics. This is a big, important theme. What's the con? The toxic mimic, but the con always imprisons, and the trick always liberates. So he's stolen human culture. So Inanna sets forth with her best friend. It's good to have a buddy. Sails to Enki's island, and she gets him drunk, being a woman trickster hero. She doesn't go grr. She gets him drunk on beauty and poetry, and his heart opens. And as he gets drunk on beauty and poetry, he gives back to her what he's stolen, different parts of human culture called Mies, M-E-S. And he leads with the erotic arts, because why not? I give to you the erotic arts, and I give to you science and astrology and poetry and real estate and everything. She puts it all in her boat, and she sets forth, you know, and Enki wakes up in the morning and goes, where's human culture? And his assistant says, you got drunk. You got out-drunk on beauty. Beauty poker is part of our play now in the world. I see your act of beauty and raise you one. Here's something even more beautiful. You know, and there's Inanna and her little coracle, you know, in her little boat out in the horizon. So he sends demons after her. You know, this is all important. But she's so pumped up with the joy, the liberating trick, the friendship, you know, that she fends them off with alacrity, ha, ha, ha. And that's how Inanna brings human culture back to humans, and then they can have a wise renaissance of collaborating with nature's ingenuity. And so it is for us now, right? And so we go, how wonderful. It is that now that we aspire to, again, this renaissance. So it tells us something important. Those who survive the journey to the underworld earn the right to be trickster redeemers in the world now. You know, and it's also part of our wordplay, you know, liberating wordplay. The word liberating, a wonderful gerund, ing, means whatever we put in front of that, you know, or putting liberating in front of anything, you know, is wonderful. Liberating Christianity, liberating Judaism, liberating say your name, you know, because it means we're setting it free, and it also means we're teasing out a quality intrinsic to that thing that is liberating. So we want to set everything liberating, and that's why we, you know, play with language. And one of the things that's quite liberating, two simple things, is you know, very often people talk about trauma, my trauma, my trauma, trauma. And Yes, we've all been to the underworld in many ways, you know, but I suggest to people like going, well, next time you're tempted to use the word trauma, why don't you substitute the phrase, my dangerous, beautiful assignment? And some people are kind of resistant, going, no trauma, trauma, but then they come back and they go, that was very interesting, right? Because we all have a mission. And part of Trickster says, you know, come, everybody's got a needed medicine, a needed mission. We need all of that. And whatever we've survived, says the Anonymous, gives us the right, we've earned the right to be cultural trickster redeemers, to set things free. So whatever difficult thing, you know, we've journeyed through is ennobled by a mission. You know, so that's a wonderful thing. The other thing, very simple, just to take away, it's very simple, but it's exchanging two letters from I've got to I get to. Got to is outsourced authority, creates resistance, like, oh, get to is, oh, this wonderful opportunity. So it's a wonderful little ditty just to take with you out into the world, you know, and we're all playing in this together. You know, we aspire and then we blow it and then we rededicate, you know, got to, get to. That's wonderful. And again, surprising language, surprising behavior, surprising anything, in again, guiding, not blocking, liberates everyone. And that's our primary dedication now, to liberate everyone, and like Inanna, to be able to rescue human culture so that we can have a wise culture of cooperating with nature's evolutionary genius that we call Trickster, and that lives within each one of us now, awaiting invitation. And Trickster's sign-off says, we are the molecules with which the big story speaks to itself through the miracle and wonderful scheduling of synchronicity. And so it is wonderful to cahoot with you all right now.